Episode 5 of The Last of Us Season 2 allows us to feel her love as we get to see in this episode just how brutal the Seraphites can be, despite their primitive nature compared to the Washington Liberation Front. As always, this video will contain spoilers for Season 2 of The Last of Us, so make sure to watch the latest episode if you have not already. So we're introduced in the beginning to Elise Park, a sergeant in the WLF who led an operation to try and clear infected from a hospital's basement in Seattle, but they discovered that the Cordyceps have now begun spreading through the air, so they had to seal everyone in the basement, including Elise's son Leon, just because they breathed in the air down there. The hospital is an important piece to hold on to as they battle not only the infected, but of course, each other. Hanrahan, played by Alana Ubach, commands Elise for sacrificing her son for the greater good, obviously very much in contrast to Joel not sacrificing Ellie for the greater good at the end of the first season. The incident also revealed the presence of spores, which is how the infection was actually spread in the games. And I'm glad they went back to that to stay a little more true to the game. Neil Druckmann, who co-wrote and directed the game and is also one of the producers here on this show, said that introducing them and the tendrils, it allowed the world to kind of continue to evolve and let the threat be more dynamic and dramatic. And I don't necessarily disagree with him, although it did alter the show from the game quite a bit in terms of how the infection spread. Ellie and Dina, meanwhile, confirm that Nora is there at the hospital, and they begin their second day as they start moving toward the hospital and head toward a warehouse that the WLF is not stationed at, likely indicating that they are infected there. While en route, they encounter more dead Seraphites along the road, and it makes Ellie question bringing Dina along since Dina is now pregnant. Dina says that she's still all in if Ellie wants to go, and they decide to press on. Dina tells a dark story about her first kill in this post-apocalyptic world after killing a raider who had come to murder her mother and sister. And that does reiterate that while everything is all sunshine and rainbows while they're alone together, Dina isn't afraid to do what needs to be done. As they enter the warehouse, they are indeed ambushed by infected, big surprise, but they seem to be the intelligent type like Ellie encountered at the grocery store in the opening episode. Of course, Ellie's immune, so she offers to sacrifice herself to save Dina since she can be bitten, but they are both about to get overrun when out of nowhere, Jesse shows up and saves both of them. We then learn that Jesse and Tommy have followed Ellie and Dina, but they split up to try and find them, so we don't actually see Tommy this episode, but we do at least learn that he's there in Seattle. In the game, Tommy is actually the one that sets out to hunt for Abby because he was the one that was there with Joel when he was killed. Then Ellie and Dina follow him, and Jesse follows the two of them after. So they all end up in Seattle. It was just a little bit of a different order, which it seems like was maybe to put more of a focus on just Ellie as opposed to other characters. So Jesse and the girls escape into a local park where the WLF stops pursuing them, and we see that they stopped because the park is controlled by the Seraphites. The group witnesses the Seraphites kill a WLF soldier in brutal fashion, but then they are discovered and Dina is shot in the leg with an arrow. Ellie creates a diversion again while Jesse carries Dina to safety, and while running away, Ellie actually stumbles upon the hospital and decides to continue on alone. While there, she finds Nora and interrogates her for Abby's location. Nora kind of goes back and forth between being remorseful for everything that happened and also taunting her about it. Nora escapes Ellie's clutches and runs and eventually finds herself in an elevator shaft where the elevator falls and descends to the basement. Ellie chases after her, and in the basement we see the spores in action as all the soldiers are still there but barely alive and obviously very, very infected. Nora says that, well, we're both dead now that you chased me in here, as she chokes and gasps for air for the spores filling her lungs. That's when Ellie reveals that she is the immune girl that Joel had killed all the Fireflies to save. Ellie reveals that she knew about Joel's actions and starts mercilessly beating Nora to try and get Abby's location from her. We then see Ellie wake up in a normal bed, and we realize that it's a flashback as she is greeted by Joel. So the episode reveals two major things. First, the spores, which show that the disease can be airborne. And second, it reveals that Ellie knew what Joel did. Remember, at the end of season 1, Joel tells Ellie that they found other immune people and they just weren't able to create a cure. Ellie questions him about it, but he swears his story is true. We got a sense then that Ellie knew something was up, and now it's revealed over 5 years later that she does know what he did. The look ahead shows us that episode 6 will be a flashback to the time between the end of season 1 and the beginning of season 2, as it seems like Pedro Pascal is back for a whole other episode. There's a bunch of flashbacks in the game that kind of help show the relationship between the two and where things went wrong. I won't spoil it all, but I think we're going to get some of the cool scenes of Joel and Ellie together as Joel tries to be the best father figure he can be, but we're also going to learn why she began to shut him out and their relationship disintegrated. So we only have 2 episodes left this season, and I'll be interested to see if we get all the flashbacks together in this one episode, or if maybe it'll be over the course of the next 2 episodes with the big revelation at the end of why their relationship became strained. And while I didn't play the game, I do know the story, and I feel like we haven't had a lot of Abby, minus the scene and some of the build up to it. She has been largely absent since killing Joel, but she is a playable character in the game, showing that we see a lot of the story from her point of view instead of just Ellie's once Joel is dead. I don't know if maybe that'll be part of the focus of season 3, maybe, since they are going to split the second game into 2 seasons, or if they're just going to keep Ellie the main focus, which is probably what I would imagine will happen. I can see next week's episode being the flashbacks and learning more about Joel and Ellie and their relationship breaking down, and then maybe end the season with them interacting with Abby for the first time, kind of leaving it on a cliffhanger before we go into season 3. So what do you think of season 2 now that we're nearing the end, only a couple of episodes left, and what are your expectations for the final couple of episodes, and do you like the changes that they have made to the game? Make sure to like this video and leave your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe to the Pop Culture Life for more Last of Us recaps, other TV show recaps, movie reviews, and so much more.